Welcome to Opal STV. Today I'm in London together with Clayton Heijman, founder of Privium Fund Management. I've been in hedge funds since 2003, and that's also when I met Clayton, right, 20 years ago. But when I met Clayton in 2003, he was already around for some 20 years. So he's a real veteran in the investment management and in the investment management servicing industry. So Clayton, as a start, give us something like a 1-minute CV.
Back in the old days, I worked in the subsidiary of the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, where we developed the custody and clearing product. Later on, went on to MeesPierson, later ABN, to develop the clearing activities for derivative and market makers. And lastly, at the development of prime brokerage for Goldman Sachs here in London, together with equity finance and some trust activities that we did. Back in the 90s, the development of hedge funds in Europe really started. And what we noticed is that quite a few of them needed handholding. They didn't know how to set it up, they didn't know how to run it, but they had a good investment strategy. So over the years, developed that experience and noticed that quite a few of them had the same issue. So in 2006, we worked on a plan to set up Privium Fund Management. Together with the experience that the team had, wanted to move forward, so we finally got going in 2008. In 2008, an infamous year, because it started off with the fallover of Bear Stearns, which led to new investment initiatives with proprietary trading shops closing down, and obviously later in the year, Lehman fell over. That was another major event that year. And the third event happened in December, when Bernie Madoff got exposed as a complete fraudster. So from there was a growing need to get more infrastructure done. Together with the experience that other people and I had with regard to custody, clearing, financing, we wanted to provide these startup managers with an infrastructure that could help them, not just on the short term, but also on the long term.
So Clayton, Privium started in 2008. That wasn't an easy year, right, for finance. Tell us about that first year.
Yeah, that first year was definitely not the easiest. Obviously, with the financial meltdown happening, now called the global financial crisis, lots of banks were in difficulties and lots of proprietary trading desks were closing down. But the flip side was, there were a lot of teams that were willing to start up, and they obviously required infrastructure and funding. Together with an incubator that got started by APG, the large pension asset manager, we helped to set up several new funds, get going. And as a result of that, we were off, and having our own business. That was the beginning. During the year, obviously, things were moving ahead a little bit by little. And as a result of that, we slowly grew into, what was truly a fund management group. So at Privium, we wanted to be more than just a startup consultant or an infrastructure provider. We wanted to be a business partner to these new initiatives, not just for the short term, but for the long term. So together with them, we developed their business activities. And we started indeed out of the Amsterdam office, but very soon we developed our activities in London, where a lot of these startups were coming from. All the proprietary desks that were being let go in the global financial crisis wanted to do something else, and wanted to do a startup hedge fund or your trading activity. So together with them, we developed that business in London. And soon after that, we saw the same thing happening in Hong Kong. And with the experience that I had at Goldman and at ABN MeesPierson, we developed that business, first of all, in a joint venture outfit. And after 12 months, we took control of the company and developed it on our own. Later in 2019, we noticed that there was a need for a second base in Asia. And after reviewing Sydney, Singapore, Tokyo, we decided upon Singapore. In Singapore, we found the ideal partner and we set up that activity in 2020. That in itself was a lucky find, because soon after we started, COVID hit, and obviously everyone wanted to have a new base in Asia. So with Singapore, we noticed that we couldn't neglect China, mainland China in particular, in combination with Hong Kong. So on the back of that, we set up a unit in Shanghai for business development. And that during COVID years, that unit has been very active getting the word out and getting our name out in the Shanghai and Beijing market. So we have very high hopes that will bring some fruits this year. And the latest, here this month, we will open up a desk and an office in New York, right in the middle of Manhattan, in Rockefeller Center. That, in particular, is a very good news for all those managers that want to put people on the ground in other jurisdictions. So we have someone in New York that could help them, getting those managers, marketeers, investor relations people in either London, Singapore, Hong Kong, or in the EU. So during COVID, managers found out that it's very difficult to travel, to see investors, to see your portfolio companies and other business partners of them. So over the last 12 months, we've seen different managers, private equity, venture capital, but also hedge funds, putting people on the ground in Asia, in Europe, in London, to have local presence. For them, it doesn't pay to set up their own license and their own activity. So they rather work together with a business partner. Privium is that business partner for them. And it helps if we have someone in New York that could teach them how to do things, how international regulations and compliance rules work.
So just very broadly, what's the range of services that you offer to investment and fund managers?
With our services, we offer 3 blocks of activities. First of all, the compliance and regulatory part. Very important for anyone that wants to go international and operate in a regulated environment. And over the years, those rules and regulations have developed further and become more and more precise. Second is our risk management activities. For regulatory purposes, we do need to run risk management on portfolios, on managed accounts. And that's a service that we offer as well. And third, our operational activities. We have a global infrastructure that allows settlements, clearing, and margining to take place through our infrastructure. That in itself is a huge help for any manager, be it a startup or an existing manager. So over the years, we've developed an infrastructure that allows for over 4 billion in assets under management to be serviced by us, be it on hedge funds, private equity, venture capital, or real estate strategies. And together with those portfolio management teams, we develop the business further for them. We look where new investments are to be made or where new investors can be found. So with that market intelligence, they'll be able to position themselves better and grow their business activities.
Now, Clayton, is there also something that you don't do for all these managers?
Yeah, the 2 main things that we don't do. We don't allocate our own capital. That would be a conflict of interest in being a business partner with them. And we don't do fund administration. We truly believe that is an activity that should be done by another independent party, allowing for your proper segregation of activities.
And what edge or what added benefits do you bring to the table at Privium Fund Management?
What we bring to managers, and those managers could be startup managers, scale-up managers, or existing managers, is a lot of experience. And it's not just the 16 years of experience at Privium Fund Management. It's also the experience that each and every one of our senior member has in its background. Sometimes decades of experience in a senior role. And as a result of that, that experience brings connectivity. Connectivity with prime brokers, asset allocators, technology partners, fund administrators, lawyers, all the people you need to set up new initiatives. We do that from different angles, and we do that from different jurisdictions. From the 3 continents, Asia, Europe, and now the US, we helped many managers to start up. And we're very proud that quite a few of those new initiatives we saw grow and flourish over the years. That in itself makes it a terrific job to help someone else's dream come true.